The Milwaukee Brewers are yet again one of baseball's best teams, but it seems like no one is talking about them. And this has seemed to be the trend over the past couple years, as Milwaukee hasn't missed a playoff since 2017. In 2018, Milwaukee won 96 games and was one win away from the World Series as they lost in the NLCS to the Dodgers in 7 games. They followed that up with an 89-win season in 2019 where they lost in the wildcard round to the eventual champion Washington Nationals. In 2020, they went 29-31 where they again lost in the wildcard round, this time to the Dodgers. And of course, last year, Milwaukee won 95 games where they lost in the NLDS to the Braves in 4 games. So Milwaukee's success up to this point in the season is nothing new to their fans, as like I said before, they haven't missed out on the postseason since 2017. But year after year, the Brewers continue to lose in the postseason, and this year they're hoping to get over that hump. And in today's video, I'm going to take a look at Milwaukee top to bottom and whether I think they can get over the hump and win the World Series this year. So with that in mind, let's hop right into the video. First, let's take a look at Milwaukee offensively. Recently, Milwaukee has sort of been labeled as a team that has been led by their powerhouse pitching. But this year, that's not the case, as Milwaukee's offense has really stepped up. As we stand today, they have a .731 team OPS, which ranks 8th in all of baseball, and they have 136 home runs, which ranks 4th. Christian Yelich on the year is hitting .254 to go along with 8 home runs and 13 stolen bases. While he might not be the perennial MVP candidate he once was, he is still a very productive bat for Milwaukee. Willy Adames, one of the most powerful shortstops in baseball so far, is hitting .215 to go along with 20 bombs. Hunter Renfroe, who in my opinion is a very underrated power outfielder, on the year he's hitting .247 to go along with 17 bombs. Colton Wong, one of baseball's best defensive shortstops, is also having a great year offensively as he's hitting .243 to go along with 7 home runs and 10 stolen bases. Rowdy Tellez has broken through this year and is having a career year, as up to this point he's hitting .230 to go along with 20 home runs and 64 runs driven in. Luis Urias is yet another offensive bat on this team that I think is very underrated. He seems to always come through in the clutch for Milwaukee, and he's a really good player all around. On the year, Urias is hitting .236 to go along with 12 home runs. Andrew McCutchen, who seems to have been around forever at this point, is still playing very well, as on the year he's hitting .258 to go along with 10 home runs and 6 stolen bases. As for Milwaukee's backstop, they've been sort of platooning between Omar Narvaez and Victor Caratini. Narvaez is hitting .232 to go along with 3 home runs, and Caratini's hitting .230 to go along with 7 home runs. They also have Jace Peterson, who quietly is hitting .248 to go along with 8 home runs and 10 stolen bases. He is currently on the IL with an elbow injury, but he is expected to return in late August. And their final offensive bat that I want to mention today is Tyrone Taylor, who on the year is hitting .227 to go along with 10 home runs. So like I said before, Milwaukee is a very powerful offensive team, and in years past where they haven't been the best offense, this year they are one of the league's best. Now let's take a quick look at Milwaukee's starting pitching. As a team, they have a 3.89 ERA, which ranks 12th in all of baseball. Corbin Burns, the reigning National League Cy Young Award winner from last year, looks dominant yet again, as in 125 innings he has a 2.31 ERA to go along with 160 strikeouts. Brandon Woodruff hasn't been as dominant as he has been over the past couple years, but he still has been very productive. On the year, in 72 innings, Woodruff has a 3.73 ERA to go along with 92 strikeouts. Eric Lauer, who has been a pleasant surprise for Milwaukee so far in 101 innings, has a 3.84 ERA to go along with 103 strikeouts. Aaron Ashby, in 76 innings, has a 4.38 ERA to go along with 92 strikeouts. As for their 5th starter, they really haven't had a consistent starter, as they've had Freddie Peralta and Adrian Hauser on the shelf. Peralta has been out for a pretty long time now with a lat injury, but he is expected back in late August, and on the year in 39 innings he had a 4.42 ERA to go along with 50 strikeouts. Adrian Hauser, before sustaining an elbow injury, had a 4.72 ERA in 76 innings pitched. So all in all, this starting rotation is very good. I think it's very impressive that they have had a top half ERA in baseball with all the injuries they have had to this rotation. Once Peralta gets back, he's going to provide a huge boost to this rotation. Last year he was dominant and he was looking very good prior to sustaining the lat injury. Now let's quickly go over Milwaukee's bullpen. Josh Hader, who has been baseball's best reliever over the past couple of years, was dominant early on but has struggled as of late. All in all, in 33 innings pitched, Hader has 28 saves, a 4.36 ERA to go along with 56 strikeouts. Devin Williams, in 38 innings, has a 1.67 ERA to go along with 63 punchouts and 6 saves. Brad Boxberger has been quietly very good for Milwaukee, as on the year in 38 innings he has a 2.84 ERA. And I also got to mention Hobie Milner, who on the year in 38 innings has a 1.89 earned run average. As the team, Milwaukee's bullpen ERA is 3.92, which ranks 14th in all of baseball. So while Milwaukee's bullpen might not be as dominant as it used to be, it is still pretty solid. So now that we went over Milwaukee as a team, I want to take a look at their World Series chances. On the year, Milwaukee sits at 55-44, and they're currently sitting at first place in the NL Central. I do think Milwaukee is going to end up winning this division, which means obviously they're going to get a first round bye in the postseason. Now, the National League is definitely no cakewalk. Even as good as Milwaukee is, they still have to go through teams like the Dodgers, Braves, Mets, and even the Padres. And as good as Milwaukee is, there is going to be a lot that is going to have to go their way, but I do think it's possible. Like I said before, their hitting is a little bit better this year than it has been in years past, and I do think that can get them over the hump. I really like this offense. I like how much power they have, and really they can explode for 10 runs on any given night. And I think if Milwaukee's offense gets hot come October, I think that's really all they need, considering how good their pitching still is and how talented their team is as a whole. So while I wouldn't put money on it, I do think there is definitely a chance. And real quick before I wrap the video up, I want to explain why I labeled Milwaukee as baseball's quietest contenders. The Brewers are obviously a very good baseball team and have been over the past couple years, but I just don't think they get enough media recognition outside of Milwaukee, because they're just such a good team and no one seems to talk about them outside of Brewer fans, so that's basically why I labeled them as baseball's quietest competitor. But anyways, that's going to wrap today's video up. Let me know what you guys think of the Brewers down below. As always, I want to thank you guys again so much for watching and continuing to support, and I'll see you next time.